Hi everyone, happy Labor Day if you're in the United States, and if not, happy Monday. I hope you have a great week. So this is the collab that I'm doing with Stmpgrl, and it is now September. So in August we did punches, and every Monday in September we're doing washi tape. So I decided well, I was going to do all fall, but the first two cards, I made 4 cards. The first 2 cards, I focused on this gold tape. I think this was from Dollar Tree, but I'm not positive. And it is a metallic looking gold tape I've had in my stash for quite a while. On the second card, I used this sort of coppery color glitter washi tape, which was from a Target dollar spot. It says 2017, which I believe because that's the first year I started paper crafting, and I don't think they have dollar items in the Target bullseye dollar spot or whatever it's called now. Bullseye, I guess. And I also use this Fall is in the Air Echo Park decorative tape. And then on the last card, I used this, which is sort of a orangey, two-tone burnt orange kind of color. I used some pumpkins washi tape, which was Scotch brand. So I either got that at Target or Walmart, I'm not sure. And I used one pumpkin off this decorative glitter tape, which also was from Target, probably in 2017 or 18, possibly. I think 17. So those are what I decided to use. So I'm going to just jump in and I'll tell you the rest after. I'll do the first 2 cards together. These are them. This was the first one, and this is the second one. So I am trying to use up some designer paper also, and this is the Ornate Garden Specialty DSP. I had 1 full sheet of this left, plus I have some scraps, so I have all scraps now. I'm trying to use it up. So I made the first 2 cards out of 1 piece of 4 by 5 1/4. No, yeah, I cut it 4 by 5 1/4, and then I trimmed it down actually, and then I cut it on the diagonal, so these are both sides of that. Then I used washi going across the strip like this. And I back that, there's another panel that's 4 1/4 by 5. Is that right? No, 4 by 5 1/4, excuse me. And all I did is I took the washi and I made a box. I did the top and bottom first, then the sides. And that is the background piece on both of these. And then this panel is bumped up on, what do you call this stuff? Foam sheets. And I did happen to use the Stampin' Up brand this time because I had some pieces, so I just put it on. So that's what I used, to the Stampin' Up one. This Thanks for Everything. Let me tell you, I haven't been on much lately. I've said this before, but I still have a lot going on with the house. And, but I was also, the other day, Saturday, going through my magazines, and I found, it's funny, I got rid of almost all my jewelry making magazines. I donated them Saturday. But when I was going through my paper crafting ones, I kept them all because most of them had free gifts. This one, for example, this card making and paper craft, had this stamp set, and the Thanks for Everything is out of that. And it also has some designer papers, and I used this one on the next card. So, but I didn't use the rest of the stamps yet, but I couldn't get rid of the stamps, you know, not like I don't have enough stamps, but you know. So that's what I did. And then this thank you was out of this Card Making Magic by Christina Griffiths. and I had bought it from Paper Wishes just in June of this year. And what I did for that is I die cut it 3 times. Twice out of just white, and then here I put the washi. Where did I put it here? 4 strips across, and then I punched the thank you. I die cut the thank you out of washi, but I layered it so it's on. There's 3 layers, 2 white and 1 of the gold washi. And then this is the flowers and leaves punch by Stampin' Up. I punched also the large flower out of the washi paper, and then 2 out of just white, and I layered them up and put a retired gilded gem. Here I did the same thing. I had a different piece though, and I used washi on white, and then white for the large one, and I used the gilded gems again, but I also brought in the white from Classic Matte Dots, and they're in the current annual catalog, whereas these are retired. I actually had 3 on a card, and I finished it, and then I used 3 more on this one. So those are what I used for both cards. This I heat embossed with gold embossing powder, and I got a little in Versamark. I got it a little crooked, but that's okay. So the smaller panel I did first, decorated it. The larger panel I put washi around the edges, and then the smaller panel is bumped up on foam tape, I showed you. And I don't have anything on the inside yet. They're both blank. This one opens, yeah, both open that way. So those are the first 2. I like this one the best because I like the, I don't like this sentiment as much, which is why I switched to this. So thanks for everything, and thank you cards. Now the next one is this fall one. Now here I brought out those papers I told you about. This was the paper from that magazine, Sept, Autumn Wonder. You can see it, they did it like on a 6x6 card. I'm going to use that some more. There's other papers too. And they're not, usually in magazines, the actual paper you get in the magazines is shiny, but this was a special pack that came. So for washi, I have the leaves. This one falls in the air going across here and edged by the copper. Now this does not stick real good, I will tell you, so I did use some glue going across to hold that one on, and I did just cut them off at the edge. The Grateful comes out of this Coco and Reno Happy Fall, and this leaf, let's see if we can find it in here, and here it is, and the Grateful cuts out of it. So what I did is I did it in white, and then I did it in Pretty Peacock, which I thought really matched this color well. It's a retired Stampin' Up color, but I still have some. And then I inlaid the white. Actually, what I did is on the white one, I took some clear tape, like regular Scotch tape kind of stuff, and I taped it across the back in little pieces to hold the Grateful in on the white one. And then I popped out the letters for Grateful from the Pretty Peacock, so that when I put them together, the white one popped into where the Pretty Peacock was. And yeah, so it's like inlaid, and it looks really nice. And then I just used these brushed metallic adhesive back dots. They're in the current annuals, also carried over. I hadn't used any of the copper ones, so I used 3 copper to go with the copper tape, and I thought that came out nice. And then inside I just have the little scrap of the paper up at the top. I haven't done anything else. Oh, and the For You, that came out of, excuse me. I had one heck of a time. I knew I had For You somewhere, but this is a retired stamp set, Beauty Abounds, and yeah, I put the For You out, and I just stamped it in Pretty Peacock, and on a scrap of 1/2-inch card, and I glued that down, and then this is bumped up. Okay, so that's card 3. Let's see, I'm gonna keep this out because I use it again. And the last card I did for today is this Happy Fall one, and I again used Cocoa and Reno, but I used the dies. So the little VW bug kind of car with the pumpkin on top, and the Happy Fall, and the little pumpkin, which I'm not going to try and dig out of here. So I used those 3 dies out of this Happy Fall by Cocoa and Reno, and also I remember these I just got from the Cocoa and Reno off Peachy Cheap site, not too, I guess June of this year. This I thought originally was an embossing folder, but it's a stamp. So I used pumpkin pie ink from Stampin' Up, and I stamped on white 5 1/4 by 4, and it's just a delicate pumpkin print. Now I used a big block, but I would recommend using a stamping platform like the Stmpgrl or something. So the VW is punched out or cut out of, I have to get a little damp cloth and wipe that off, out of crumb cake, and then also copper foil, and that is a Stampin' Up copper foil. I don't know if they still sell it. I honestly, I can't remember. I think so, but I'm not positive. Anyway, I have scraps, and I have an extra pack in there that usually has 2 or 3 sheets. And on the crumb cake one, oh, I'm sorry, I also die cut it out of pumpkin pie, twice actually, because I cut the pumpkin off. Now on the first one, I messed up. I colored the pumpkin with blends, alcohol markers, and it bled too much. So I did it again, cut it again, and then I just took the Garden Green Stampin' Right marker, which is ink-based marker, dye ink-based marker, to try and match the green on these pumpkins on the washi tape. So the washi tape is here, 2 strips here of the thinner one, and then I also, since I used the car in crumb cake, I put 6 strips across, and I put the Happy Fall die cut here, but I also did it out of crumb cake, and I used adhesive. I should have used it with the washi tape one too, but after I did the washi tape one, I realized that that die is, the words are thinner than I thought they were going to be. So on the crumb cake one, I did use the adhesive strip across it, but I ended up having to glue on the washi tape one over top the other crumb cake one. And I might not have gotten glue everywhere I needed to because I was worried I'd get it too sticky. But this is all washi tape on card and then doubled. And then here I die cut 2 pumpkins out of pumpkin pie cardstock, used the same marker, color the stems, and on this one I also used the pumpkin pie marker, and I colored pumpkin pie on pumpkin pie, and it made it a little darker, which gave me a little contrast. And then this was the one pumpkin from the decorative glitter tape here. And then these gems are retired. They are the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels in pumpkin pie, because I have this one sheet that has pumpkin pie only left on it. have a couple other sheets that also have the pumpkin pie. But I also, because I used copper, I could have used, and that was a hindsight, I could have maybe used the Brush Metallic adhesive back dots also. So that's what I did on that one. And inside, I haven't even put this down. I think I'm going to, let's just do that. Just put a row of this across the bottom again, the pumpkins. So the people went to the pumpkin patch and picked out their nice pumpkin to put on their doorstep or whatever. My friend Charlie, I don't know, I guess he'll still do it this year. I haven't seen him for a long time. Anyway, he used to try and get the biggest pumpkin, and then he would carve it, make a jack-o'-lantern, and put it on his step for Halloween. But he might not do that yet, because Halloween's a little bit away. Actually, that's a little crooked, so I'm going to pull it up again carefully, because washi tape, some washi tapes can tear your paper. Not all of them, but some can. That's straighter. Okay. And I think I'm going to cut it off because I don't want it to be lopsided when I glue it down. This washi tape is pretty sticky, so I'm not going to be concerned about it pulling up. If it wasn't real sticky like the glittery one, I would have glued also, or wrapped around the back to help hold it on, but I'm okay with it the way it is now. And you can use whatever kind of adhesive you prefer to put your card mats in, but there we go. Okay, and then I do kind of suggest using a what do you call those things? One of these. Mine is somewhere. I don't know where my other one is. Anyway, that's what I did. And yeah, so I have those 4 cards using a variety of products, but the focus being, oops, on the washi tape. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different cards, 2 for fall, 2 for any time. Really, thanks for everything, and thank you. And these are the order I did them in. Not that it matters. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go check out Stmpgrl Paige and see what she's made for this week. And I'm going to get working on next week's cards now. See you soon. Hugs, love, and peace. Bye.